Hello, everybody. It's us again, Aliza Soleira and Sheila. Periodically, we do these conversations and they get so rich, we decide to record them. So we're recording this one. And the theme, the topic, the phrase that came up for us that we all kind of got lit up about was source as us. Did I say that right?
No,
No.
source
No,
are us, like Toys R
Source are us. That's right. I,
like
I
Toys
even
R
wrote
Us.
that in my journal this morning. Source are us.
Yeah.
And part of the reason we like it is because it makes us go, wait, what? But we wanted to just kind of land into an exploration of what that is for each of us. So, introducing ourselves, I'm Aliza Bloom Robinson, and I host the Sacred Playground, which is an incredible space to expand and play in the new. And Soleira, who are you?
Soleira Green. I'm a visionary author, quantum coach. I host the Murmuration of Maestros group. I'm a future innovator, and I feel like we're becoming something new, which we were dubbing Source are Us.
And Sheila.
Sheila Richardson, and I am learning to be source and becoming more and more of source and loving to have this conversation with Soleira and Aliza.
So cool. And I love that you said learning to become source because that's kind of where we started is we're discovering really, and maybe not for the first time, but in new ways that we are source and then source are us. And uh yeah. So let's play. Solara, why don't you jump in and
Well, I'm one of those people who wasn't that before. I know people who say they were that since they were born, maybe even one or both of you. But not me. I have become that recently. It kind of progressed from becoming the universe for me. I think we all have different journeys towards this. And then kind of connecting to what is source. And, you know, uh, none of us are attached to the language of it, are we? God, source, creator, universe, divine, infinite. There's a gazillion names for a kind of mystical, marvelous, magical, awesome superpower in the galaxies, in the frame of creation. And so in the Murmuration of Maestros group, in the last 3 to 4 years, we've been calling source more present in ourselves, in the earth, in nature, in life, in the oceans, as well as embodying it and bring it up through ourselves and expanding our reach and connecting with all life as source to source, which is a very different thing than person to person or person to life or person to nature or person to earth. It's very different source to source. So that would be my kind of quick overview. How about you?
yeah. I'll just share my journey. Many of you know, or some of you might know, I've been a New Thought minister for 30 years almost now, and so my framework and language has been God, except for the last 10 or 15 years. Well, in 2010, I couldn't use the word God. It didn't fit anymore at all. And so I quit using it. So that made a really interesting experience in the work I was doing at that point, which was leading Sunday services and things like that. But from that to knowing we are one, we've always said and taught we're one, but it was up here and then coming into the experience of feeling and being that oneness. But that was just the beginning. That was the tip of the iceberg, kind of like Soleira said. Mine was a little bit different. But then, oh, wait, then to really feel that one with, but then one as all. And then for me, from that, it's like sort of worldly to the universe, to beyond the universe, to what is source creation? What is creation? oh, if I am creation, I am source. We are source. So it's been quite the evolution and several, not baby steps, but quantum leaps in my experience of that coming into this source conversation. So, Sheila, you kind of kicked this off by saying you're learning to become source.
Yeah. Um, Me too, from the New Thought perspective. And I was a religious science practitioner, and um, still am, at some level. And that is also, Source and God are still pretty connected for me. I could use either word. I've never I've never had any difficulty with the concept of God as some other people from other kinds of. I didn't have to go through any of the Christian um, stuff that some other people have. So it's all, for me, just learning to take my attention there is my big learning now, rather than, I still get all caught up in the world in various ways, and I'm sure as we all do. But I'm learning, and much, much more of the time taking my attention to the fact that I am an expression of God or source. And as I do that, then as you guys are talking about, I know my connection to all. I know my connection to the world, and I know my connection to beyond the world. And now we're starting to play with this idea of source connecting and the power that might be there. And that's very intriguing to me. Um, I've had a wonderful time in life playing with understanding myself as an expression of God and source, and playing in creation of businesses, and helping people, and raising money, and having a great time with all of that. But this whole new idea of that we're now all going to experience ourselves as source, and the power. I've felt power in my own spheres, but I'm starting to feel overwhelmed, and wonderfully overwhelmed, with this idea of what we'll be able to do when we connect, all of us in that, from that place.
Yeah.
So now I'm hanging out with all that.
Well,
Yeah,
can
I find it such a different, it's so different than, the decades of creating or creation or manifestation. It's so not that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, because I'm a bit of a wordsmith and a word maker, and
Yes.
I like the word source as a verb. There's source as a noun and source as a verb. And
Yeah.
source as a verb means to originate, to make happen, but it's
Mm-hmm.
got a real open feel to it. So, like, I look at words as energetic constructs. So if you look at different words as energetic constructs, you find that source is a kind of word, and not attached, I don't think, as far as I'm aware, to any particular belief system or religious faith, or so it doesn't seem to disturb anybody in the same way. And as soon as we did source our us, which is a kind of funky, fun way of doing it. And the other thing I would say is that one of the things about using source as a noun is that it feels very collective and unique at the same time. So we all don't have to be one thing, what the same one thing. So your source, I'm source, their source, the whales are source, the oceans are source, the land's source. And we're all unique, bringing something to the sourcing of life throughout the universe and on the planet Earth kind of thing. So it's a term I really love it because of its kind of joy and collectiveness and freedom in it, I think. That's the way I hold it anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, the freedom, but so much the expansion. And we were talking the other day about each of us being an individualized expression of that, like the facets of color in the mosaic.
Yeah,
And I've used that for so long, but it was static. And so then somebody on that call will say kaleidoscope. I'm like, oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And that kaleidoscope, and that's, I think, where we're playing now, or at least where I'm playing now, is that momentary, oh, wait a minute, I am source. It's like a moment to remember, and to remember like the future almost. It's not a remembering the past, but it's like the remember, it's like, oh, source are us.
yeah. And
I am,
it lets us be connected
yeah.
as that, not connected to something that's necessarily way out away from us, but something that is in us and in everything and in all of us. And the collectiveness of it has more ease in it, I think. So I love it. I'm, it's kind of fun.
And I think as the awareness of that is growing, and it seems to be growing everywhere as it's growing in me, and as we have these conversations,
Yeah,
I'm finding that I'm having more and more of these conversations everywhere.
yeah,
And it's that it's like it's sparkling more. I mean, when I have this kind of a conversation with anyone, it brings more light and more life,
yeah,
to them and to me and to everything around us.
yeah.
And I'm just so happy to be around for this.
Me too. Hey,
As
let's,
we source the new reality.
yes, let's talk about what you were just bringing up, which is how does it feel energetically and maybe emotionally and, whatever else, vibrationally, to operate as a connective collective of sourceness in individually, uniquely, and collectively. So for me, uh, I don't feel separate from everything. That would be the first thing. I feel much more connected with all of life than I ever have been. And that wasn't my way years ago. It's quite profound for me. I don't have emotional reactions anymore. I go straight to greater purpose, and I seem to have a greater intelligence or understanding, a comprehension of the bigger picture, the greater purpose of what's going on, why things happen. And it comes quite naturally. I don't think it's like, oh, somebody's got special abilities. No, I think it's more natural for us, actually. And I think I mean, me, I'm 76. I got so much vitality. It's ridiculous. I'm healthy and I'm super aging, I guess is the term for it recently. So, but I think all of that, it's like it's a different form of life force power in the body and in the energetics that you bring to the world. So being radiant would be because I was just noticed both of you are kind of glowing. And it's like there's a radiance that you give off when you're embodying and being that kind of, I call it unificence, but uh, that connectedness with all life as source is just a beautiful way to live. I really love it. My life is like a dream, actually, is how it occurs. So, how about you?
I think for me, one of the things I wanted to say earlier and kind of missed is it used to be when I was first connecting as source, it was still outside.
Yeah,
It was still kind of up and away. And what's happened recently is it's much more internal,
yeah,
which means the access is much more, it's always there. I think it's always been there, but my remembering to go there, because I can still go, oh, I've got to get this done and I got to, or this is happening or whatever, the world is kind of, interesting right now, shall we say. But that natural, like as soon as I touch that, it's like, oh yeah. And I'm much less reactive to the outer.
Yeah.
Like if something's happening, right?
Yeah.
Like recently we had like, I don't know, 16 things happening and I got kind of bumped around in some of that, but I'm also not like it doesn't take me down for a long time, whatever. But it's like I can see that in the great scheme of things, there's either a greater purpose or maybe it doesn't even matter, right?
Yeah.
Much less concerned about some of what I see in the world. But that doesn't feel like I'm disconnected or it doesn't feel like I'm in denial of. It's just a different layer of acceptance, of knowing, of, I don't know, almost sovereignty. But when Sheila said, and then you said it again, it's like it's so, the life force is so much fuller
Yeah.
as source. It's like the floodgates have opened.
And your energetics expand. So if I say you're more powerful, it sounds like an old paradigm thing of power. It's not like that. It's a connective surge of the miraculousness of life, you could say, that of this bursts through you, and there's a reach that could be as wide as the universe or as wide as the earth, or depending on how you connect and how you reach out. So even consciousness is like you said, for me, when I started to work with consciousness 30 years ago, it was way out there, and we were here. Like you would, now it's like in us, in the air we breathe, it's in our cells, it's who we are. It's so much. I think this is the way it was always meant to be, and maybe was at some point, and I don't know, it sure is again now, hallelujah. But also when you're talking about things that happen in the world, I too have gone through a shift. If you asked me a year and a half ago, I would have gone, ooh, ooh, how do I hold this in the framework of my understanding of the greatness that's emerging in humanity and in the world? But now I'm kind of like, oh yeah, all I can see is greatness, and humanity evolving and moving vibrationally up. And all those other things seem, I don't kind of, if I say meaningless, it sounds like I don't care. I care, but I care in a different way. I care with a kind of reality creation power that that just goes, well, this isn't it. So let's just like not give it prime attention in consciousness and in reality. This is it. And let's give that prime attention and consciousness and reality. And let's shape reality from connectedness and a more infinite universal intelligence, from better energetic power, abilities, connectedness, all that kind of thing. So, yeah. Sheila?
I'm just, I love it that we have this conversation and align with this conversation and energy, because I know that as we do that, and more and more and more and more loving human beings are doing that, that as you said, energy, and that love is becoming more the norm, I want to say.
It is, I think so too.
Yeah, and as the all the other stuff is just other stuff. Um, and as we do that, it's like, yeah, I think I just know that that's where we're going and where we're supposed to be going, and it's it's just fun, you know? It's more fun. It's just more fun every day
Yeah,
because people are having more fun and they're
yeah.
feeling better, and um and the flowers are prettier.
They are. I've noticed that the green is greener in nature. The animals are more beautiful than ever before. I don't know if that's really true, but your whole vibration changes, and therefore you see something more majestic and beautiful. That's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, it's such a fun place to hang out. It's one of the reasons I love hanging out with the both of you so much because I'm always lifted, I'm always expanded, I'm always inspired is an old word. It's not like the old
Yeah,
inspired, but ignited
yeah,
into a new level of awareness of my own expansion of a deeper truth that seems to continually be evolving.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
As we share it, it
Yeah.
evolves as we share it, which is
And
great.
when you work with other people, other we call them maestros, when you work
Mhm.
with other maestros who people who want to make the world brighter, better, more awesome, more evolved, more elevated, excited. Uh,
Yeah.
when you're working as sources, it there's like an effortless wonder to it, I would say. So we do some of that with our groups, and it's like you don't there are no rules to this. there, and which I love. As soon as you put rules to things, like forget it. So the, it's a joyful collaboration where every piece is celebrated and included, like kaleidoscopic, as you said, Eliza. It's a very different way of working together, and to be able to uplift the world, it becomes even more amazing and wonder filled to me. I just love it. Yeah,
Right. I love that you said that because that is ultimately our intention to uplift the world, to turn the world out, to
yeah,
continue to birth new levels of consciousness and
yeah,
humanity and beyond humanity.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I would say I'm going to ask the question. So, if people like this and they want to get in touch with us, so maybe you could just say how each of us, how you'd get in touch. Liza, you want to start?
Yeah, Facebook is the best way, Aliza Bloom Robinson. And like I said, I host the Sacred Playground. We'll put this in the description of the video too,
Yeah.
later. But yeah, I would love to connect. And we would love for you to put your comments in the comments. How is this landing with you? What are you experiencing? Because we would love to continue this dialogue.
Yeah. Sheila?
And me too, Facebook, just Sheila Richardson on Facebook. It's pretty easy to find me.
Me too. Soleira Green. So, yeah, it's interesting. So many people don't like Facebook, but it's our playground,
It is our playground.
and it really works. Like you can curate it so that you don't get all the stuff you don't want to see, but it's where we can connect really easily too, which is lovely. So also I have a website, soleiragreen.com, so if anybody wants to get in touch, so that kind of thing.
And I do as well, LizaBloomRobinson.com.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
And
we thank you guys. Oh, go ahead, Sheila.
you can also find me on LinkedIn if you don't do Facebook.
yeah, me too. Yeah, probably you too, Eliza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
but
right. Thank
Facebook
you
is
all
our
for joining
playground.
us. We'd love your comments, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you all.